Welcome to the Math 151 W01 tour of Blackboard for spring 2013, and we'll go through the buttons here in Blackboard during this recording, and I will tell you what you can find in each location. The very top button is the opening page. It's the announcements page. You should check here about 4 times a week for information regarding the class. Each week I will post a schedule reminder which will show you what week we're in, what the due date is, and what the assignments are for that week. And so you can see here a list of the assignments under the welcome announcement that tells you exactly where to go to get started in the course. Now, assignments. Under the assignments button, I actually have this organized in two ways. One way you can do it is just click on the week, and it will give you the learning outcomes, the assignments for the week, and then links to each of those areas. So the first thing I have is a link that will take you to the syllabus, also called the course outline, which we covered in the last 2 videos. This is linked to the Getting Started videos, which this is one of those. We have register for my math lab. That link will take you directly to my math lab. Orientation homework is also in my math lab. And then you have your lab, which is linked to the labs button, and it says Lab 1 Student Information and Introduction. So that's the lab you want to do for week 1. And if I continue, week 2 is more of a normal week. You can see I have the assignments listed at the top, the learning outcomes for that particular group of assignments, the sections in the textbook you should read. This links you to lecture notes and the lectures and sample problems I've recorded on YouTube. And then finally a link to my math lab to do the online homework. So as you can see, this is, and for example, this will take you straight to Chapter 2 materials, and so you would want to do 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. Okay, so that's the assignments button. So if you prefer to see the assignments by week with all of the associated links to those assignments, you can do that. Now, in some cases the links break down during the course. If that happens, you can also get to materials like labs through the lab button, and I'll show you the labs here. Okay, so you can access those there if something happens to the links. Right now they're working, but you never know. If you want to get to the lecture notes, you can go through the course materials button, and you can see I've got materials organized by section in Chapter 2, and then to go to Chapter 3 you have to click on 3, and then materials for 3 are located there. And for example, under each section you'll find lecture notes that you should print, and then you have a lecture that is recorded in YouTube, and they follow along with the lecture notes that you print. And then I have worked some sample problems from the even numbered exercises in the textbook to give you some examples of the types of problems you'll be dealing with. So those are what you should be doing on a weekly basis. Now, following assignments, we have course information. This is where the syllabus is located. I have taken off the assignment portion and just created a separate document for that. For the first 2 exams, you'll need testing center passes. Those are completed except for your name and student ID, so you need to fill those in and take those with you when you go to the testing center. So that's course information. Course materials I just talked about, so those are divided by chapter. That's where your lecture notes, recorded lectures, actually let me take you one, the very first one. Okay, so we have the lecture notes, and these are Word documents. Okay, so you can see these are lecture notes. Many times I'll put blanks in the lecture notes and ask questions and have you pause the recording to fill something in. I did not do that on this first one, but then there's a lecture, and this takes you to YouTube. Okay, and it does have sound that goes with it. Okay, so there's two parts to that lecture. Anything over 15 minutes I have to divide into sections. And again in YouTube, the sample problems. Okay, so that's where I do the sample problem. So that's the way the course materials are set up under the course materials button. Discussion board. On the very first lab and the very last lab, you have a discussion board assignment. The first lab is meet your classmates. You're supposed to post your self-introduction here and then respond to two of your classmates. So when you go to do that, you just do create a thread, and you can put whatever you want, so-and-so, just your name, and so forth. Ask your instructor. This is the place where you can put general questions about how the course functions and about content. If you have a personal question, please email that to me. The very last lab, so you won't be doing this until the end of the semester, or towards the end of the semester, so don't do that one right now. Wait until the end of the semester. Okay, so that's discussion board. Faculty information has information on my office hours, my email address. I do have hopefully an office now. I'm counting on the fact that they'll give me back my old office. These are my office hours, a picture so you have an idea of what I look like, and a little background about me. You may want to read that. The Getting Started videos, okay, and so I've got the very first one up here now. I will add this one, and then I'll have one more on my math lab that I'll add. The labs are located under the Labs button, as I mentioned. The first one is the Student Information and Introduction Lab. So to get that lab, what you want to do is click on the lab sheet, and I recommend saving it. I'm just going to put it in downloads for right now. And then you can open it and complete it. Okay, so you have to enable editing, and then you type your name here, the course, the semester, and so forth. The biggest thing I'm looking for is where you're taking your exams, and then your self-introduction goes at the very end. When you're finished, I would encourage you to save as and put your last name in front so that you can identify the one you've completed from the one you haven't. Save it, and then when you are ready to submit that, you browse your computer, and as I recall, mine was under downloads, so let me see. Okay, and here it is, McCormick Lab 1. So you'd want to double click on that to submit it, to select it for submission. You can type a couple of comments like, here is my lab, hi Ms. McCormick, here's my lab, and then you click on submit. If you select save as a draft, it will not be submitted. That just keeps it for you, so you know you can go back and make some changes. And I have tried to remember to set all of these up so you can do multiple submissions in the event you realize you accidentally turned in the blank page or whatever. So that's the way all of the labs will work. Okay, My Grades is where you can go to see your grades. Basically what is kept here will be your lab grades and your exam grades. At midterm and at the end of the semester, I will put in your homework average and your quiz average from my math lab, so that at midterm you'll see where you are, and then you'll have a general idea of where you are until the end of the semester when I update those again. Online assistance gives you help if you have technical problems with Blackboard. Student technical resources can help. Distance learning student resources, this links to that page. Testing center, so when you're getting ready for the first exam, I would recommend you go there and print out their brochure so you can read through that. Library services you don't actually need for this class, and atomic learning videos. I believe they added one more, but it's not going to apply to you all, so I'm not going to worry about adding that in this semester. So that's what you'll find in Blackboard. So you have the bulk of the course materials in terms of content. You also have the course information. You have the lists of the assignments. You have the labs. So make sure you become very familiar with this particular part of the course. In the next recording, we'll take a look at what is contained in my math lab and how you can register for and then log into my math lab.